Hey guys, it's Victoria and welcome back to FemmeHead. Today I felt compelled to talk about packing and talk about suitcases and packs and when I prefer each and how I pack them. Growing up, we always used suitcases. When we traveled, we had like two sets. So you would have your large bag that you would check, you would have your rolly carry-on, and then you have the smaller one that was like your personal item. I didn't get this until recently. It was actually a gift from Michael for our first Christmas together. I think it was our first Christmas together, and he got this for me, and I really like it. It was like, I think it was 2 years ago that I bought this rolly case. It was like $90. I got it off of Amazon. It's the Nautica brand, and I just liked it because it was a bit inconspicuous, but it was a bit different. It was very easy to pick out. If I ever did check it, I always knew which bag was mine. I wanted one that had 4 wheels so it could roll like this, but then you could also tip it and roll it too. It's held up really, really great. The only thing that's kind of going is this thing. It has one side that has just like straps in it that will hold everything in, and then it has this other side that has like, it's like zippered so it holds everything in there, and I just really, really like it, and it's the perfect size. And then Michael got this for me. It's North Face. It's called the Terra 45, so I think that means it's 45 liters. I absolutely love it. I have these two bags, and unless it's just like a weekend away close, I'm using one of these two bags. So how do I choose which bag I'm going to bring on a trip? It depends on where I'm going. If I'm going somewhere where I'm going to be moving around a lot, like moving from spot to spot or like town to town, it's somewhere where I'm going to have to lug my bag around, depending on like the mode of transportation. This is where that comes in handy because you can just throw it on your back and you don't have to worry about like dragging it or carrying it through like questionable situations. I took my pack to Bali last year because we had planned to move between each location on a motorbike. So we all rented our own motorbikes and we had to get from point A to point B with all of our stuff on a motorbike. So we wanted to be able to strap it onto ourselves and just go. If you're gonna go somewhere where you're going to check out of a place and then you have to take your luggage with you that day until you can check into the next place, and you're planning on like checking out the town or walking somewhere, I always will take this instead. Like when I don't have a place for my stuff to be while I'm out and about, I always take my bag. If you're going to have to lug it through like cobblestone streets or places where there's not sidewalks like in Sri Lanka, take a pack. If you're going to be jumping into like tuk-tuks, somewhere where you're gonna have to throw it onto your lap, I always take my pack. If your trip is gonna be a little less rugged and you're gonna, rent a car right away and you just have to go from the airport to the rental car to the hotel you're staying at, or from the airport to your Uber to the place you're staying, I'll just take this. If I'm not moving around a lot or if I'm just going to one place, I will take this rolly bag, because if you're going to be more stationary, it's a lot nicer to have this when you're like walking around through the airport and you can just roll it along and it takes the stress off your shoulders, because obviously with all your stuff in it, this can get pretty heavy. For the past 2 trips to France, I've taken this because we've, flown into the airport, gotten a rental car right away, and just driven to the places. And even though we're moving around a lot, because we have that rental car that we can just put stuff in, it's so much easier to just have this. There's not any worrying about like getting onto trains, catching a bus, having to ride a motorbike, where this would come in much handier. So I hope that kind of explains how I choose between the two. Everyone has their own reasonings. Like some people just prefer always using a pack, or some people don't own a pack and just always use suitcases. Next, I want to talk about like how I pack, what I've learned. Way back in the day, I would just take all of my things and I would fold them like you would fold them, when you put them into your drawer or into your closet. And that's just the very simple kind of, we'll call it a flat fold. And so you would just fold all your things like this. Flat, 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 fold it up flat. You just set this into your suitcase like that. I can't remember at what point I started rolling my clothes, and you see that's a very popular technique nowadays. You just take it and you roll it up, which is great because that is much more compact, but I find that like there's still layering, and so you can't see all of your things. And the thing that I've been doing the past 2 years is I fold everything in that method, so they're all like blocks. It's still very similar to the whole rolling thing, but this way it's like the perfect height to where it can all sandwich in and you can see everything. So that's the first thing, is I started packing like that. But more importantly than that is packing cubes. Like, that was a huge thing when I discovered and got packing cubes, and I'm beyond obsessed. Like, I will link down below some videos, recent videos of, you know, what I've packed for trips, so you can see how I've packed and how I've used my packing cubes. So I just got a simple 3 packing cube set as a small size, a medium size, and a large size. Something about, I mean, I'm sure they designed them this way, but they fit perfectly in either of my bags. The big one is normally what I use to hold all of my clothes, so my pants and my shirts, unless I'm going on a very quick vacation, and then I can like squeeze it all in the medium size one. But normally it's the big one is my clothing. The medium one is like books, journals, cords, and other electronical things. And then the small one is things like socks, underwear, bras, swimsuits, that sort of stuff. I also have this blue bag that is all of my toiletries. So when I'm traveling with one of these, I normally have my carry-on, and then I have my backpack. Or I have my pack, and then I have my backpack. Regardless of like which one I have, I also bring a backpack. The only difference is when I'm traveling with my pack, I make sure there's enough leftover room so that everything in this, including my bag, can fit in here or on here. So when I am traveling around within the place that I am visiting and I have to carry everything, I can have it all on my back. I find that doing the whole like pack on your back thing and then backpack on your front is more painful than just having it all on your back, because this like pulls down, and even though you have this all configured so it's the support is on your hips and not your shoulders, this weighs it all down so it's on your shoulders anyways. So I always make sure that everything can fit in here. If I'm going to be going through an airport, which is usually the case when you travel, I always make sure that my laptop, if we're taking the iPad, if I have, you know, liquids from my toiletries bag, that those are all in here and they're very easy to get to, and I don't bother with putting them into here when I have to go through airport security. I will, after, you know, I get through airport security, put most of that in here or on here somehow, but when I'm going through, I want to make sure it's here so I don't have to fuss around at TSA and mess with that. And I have TSA pre-check, so most of the time I don't even have to take any of that out or take my shoes off or anything. I just get to walk through very easily. Some airports don't have a pre-check line, or if it's not busy, they won't have a pre-check line, so you just have to be prepared for that. Even if I am using my pack and I want to make sure that everything can fit into or onto here, I will have my laptop, a book, my snacks, anything that I'm going to want like on the actual plane, I'll have that in here, so I can just throw this up top into the luggage bin, and then I put this under my seat and it has everything that I'm going to need during the flight in here. If I'm using my carry-on case, I don't feel like I need to fit everything in here the same way I feel like everything needs to be able to fit on here. I'll have my carry-on suitcase, and then I'll have my backpack, even if there's room in here. Like I said, I don't know why, but I really enjoy packing. I enjoy the organization of it, and I have everything in my bag or my suitcase is within another bag. Like, I have all sorts of little bags. Headphones, pens, phone charger, that all goes up in here. This like fabric bag, and this is where my laptop charger, my external, and any other like big cords goes. And that goes inside this bag. Even inside my toiletries bag, I have other bags. And I have a clear plastic Ziploc where all of my liquids go. And then I have this little one, which is like actual makeup bag. It's just a little one. And then I have one more usually, but I don't know where it's at. Nothing's really loose within here. And then obviously I have all my packing cubes. But another thing I have is this little like meshy fabric bag, and this is my dirty laundry bag. So it's all in bags. There's rarely anything ever floating around. I just like the organization so much. I'm curious, what are the bags you travel with? Do you have a carry-on? Do you have a pack? Do you have both? Which do you prefer? Do you have something entirely different, like a weekender bag or a duffel bag, that you enjoy more? Comment those down below. And finally, I think it would be really fun to do like a packing Q&A. And so if you guys have any questions related to packing, you can ask those down below, because I'd really like to make that video in the future. I know it's a weird topic, but like I said, I'm obsessed with packing. Okay guys, that is what I have to say today about packing, you know, suitcase versus pack. Don't forget to subscribe to FemmeHead for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!